And we are live, and whoo, Nancy's smoking
I'm
this
smoking.
evening. People were like, "What?" You can see the little smoke coming up from behind her. She goes,
That's
I'm a fire
right.
woman. I like
Yeah.
fire." And
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
"Woo, she's
It is.
smoking."
It's all over the place, isn't it? Yeah, that's my I've got some sage that's smoldering over there.
You got some sage. I've got some of my Palo Santo over here, so
Ah.
it's a good time. So, everybody, yes, Dancing Soul Sister, we're so happy too. It's Divine Feminine time. It's like one of my shows I forward to the most out of the week. Coming out to hang with Nancy and all you ladies, and Earl and Shazad when he drops by, and Tom, Early Ritual, and Miss Tarot D.
Yeah.
So it's everybody's welcome. Um, and Flowing is here. Hello, Carmela, my dear. I'm listening from my recliner resting.
Oh.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, that
And
sounds wonderful.
hello, Teresa. She's saying hello to me and to you. So I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I know it felt like instead of going into summer, we were going into fall. It's been a little chilly and
Oh.
sinuses draining and everything. I'm just like
Oh, my
my body's
sinuses. I
freaking
don't know
out.
what's going on.
Can't figure out what's going on.
My constant companion's the Kleenex.
Mm, that was me today. And oh my goodness, look who popped in.
Yeah.
Hey girl, hey. What's up, girl? And tonight, 7 o'clock, Mystic 4, I believe. It's Allison. So make sure Dragonfly Crystals, um, Val, Simulcast, Gerald from Tarot Stash Simulcast, and I believe Cleo the Seer. So Allison's a part of that was a
Yeah.
little quartet.
That's wonderful.
Um, so thanks for popping in, girl. Um, Good to see ya. She's like, yep, yep. And it was so funny that you popped in because we were just saying that, Nancy was smoking and she was showing us her sage. And I said, well, and just as I was just about to say, and then you popped in, was just be careful, um, because Friday night when we were talking, Allison had her beautiful candle lit and she didn't realize she started saying her blinds, a cup of her blinds started catching fire.
My
We're
goodness.
like, we don't want you to burn down the
Yeah,
house.
we've got to be careful.
So as I'm saying, look at Nancy smoking.
And
Allison
I'm
pops
wondering
in.
what's smoking behind me.
Yeah,
Oh
Allison's
no.
bringing the fire, the Aries fire.
Yeah.
So, all righty. So I'd actually was expected to be a little better planned today. To be perfectly honest, because I want to talk about the Morgan a little bit. And but unfortunately this morning with all the changes of the weather, I got hit with a migraine and then I was down for most of the afternoon. So I have just a couple pages set aside from this book, and I'll just share this really quick with anybody who's interested. um, it's the Celtic lore and spellcraft of the Dark Goddess. And again, the dark does not mean that this is a book of dark magic, black magic, negative stuff. This is just looking at goddesses that are considered dark in perspective because they, are connected with the cycles of life and death, of battle. And of course, back in the day, any, goddess or woman who, God forbid, expressed her, her emotions and her sensuality and sexuality. Well, that's a dark goddess right then and there. So, that's so what we do know about Morgan, or the Morgan, as she's also known, is basically from the text written by Irish monks between the 8th and 12th centuries. And just making sure I didn't miss it. Hello, Tropical Empress. I thought I saw you. I was like going, I thought I saw the red little T on my screen out of the corner of my eye. So, and the Morgan, she's also associated with Morgan Le Fay and Modron, and connected with Maxa, Anu, and Bav. She's known, and it's interesting too that Allison's popping in here because the Morgan, because Allison loves crows, anything from the Cordovan family, and so does Jonathan Daly. He loves the corvids. And so the Morrigan, her main animal totem is the crow. It is the raven. It's the carrion birds because of her being a goddess of war and the battlefield. If she sided with you, they said that her screams and cries of battle could, literally just kill men on the battlefield or scare them so much it would just scare them to death, or they would go running. So that's how she kind of got her connection with being a war goddess. She's also known as a shapeshifter, and her favorite form is the raven and or crow. Um, so just a little to start with too is there on this chapter. It's lovely. It says Ode to the Morrigan. I wanted to share, and it's by Gwyneth Danu or Thanu, and it goes like this. In olden days, she gathered on battlefields of mist, chanting, offering golden charms, granting her champions victory. So they say, so they say. Her shape, a crow or raven, her shield, trickery. She guards the gift of magic, medicine, wisdom, fertility. Oh, who are you, O Morrigan? What face in modern times? Your face shows now its fullness, not mere war, but quiet strength. You gird your women to take their place, a tide of matriarchy. Cleanse time, cleanse space, bring balance to our human race. And whoo, just feeling the shivers all over. It's basically reclaiming the goddess, reclaiming the stories, the mythologies, of these women. Um, so again, let's see here. She's an adept at magic. Her spell hindered the enemies of the Tuatha De Danann, the Irish gods. Hence her association with magic and witchcraft. Um, let's see, she's also associated with Maxa, Anu, and Bav. She ruled over fertility and lent her name to the land. Um, and as Bav or Bav, she gathered the souls of the dead. So again, here it says what we know about the Morrigan comes to us from narrative texts written by Irish monks between the 8th and 12th centuries after Christianity had replaced paganism as the dominant religion in Ireland. They mention books that she can appear in, which I would not be able to pronounce. I would need my girl, Jackie's Crystal Moon, help me out with some of this. But she says that she was a pivotal character in other narratives. So there were many stories, and she says here while we will be exploring each of her myths and her role in Celtic mythology in greater detail, our first clue to the Morrigan's true nature is her name. So let me just pull this over here. My little rubber band will hold my page over. Like the Morrigan herself, the translation of her name shifts and changes depending on the source. The second part of her name, Regan, translates to queen, and no other alternative translation appears for this part of her name. Just like Rhiannon, the Re that also represents the queen, the great queen. Rigatona is also associated with the word queen or great queen. More has been attributed several different meanings. In most texts, a mark of length appears over the O, but in some citations and glosses, the mark of length is omitted. Okay. Let's see. So that would make her the Great Queen. Yes, we see similar names applied to other Celtic goddesses, which also translates to Great Queen from the root word regani, which also means queen. Let's see. And she's also associated with, because of Mor, she's connected to the old Irish word mur, which translates to sea or water. So she's also connected to the water. Um, she's connected again also to Morgan Le Fay. The only thing is Morgan Le Fay was, turned into an evil sorceress, for the Arthurian tales. She was re-envisioned, of course, again by Marion Zimmer Bradley for The Mists of Avalon as Morgaine. Um, and if you haven't seen that miniseries, Juliana Margulies did a beautiful job portraying her. Um, and so just seeing here that so in Indo-European, her name suggests to be the Queen of Death. So as a goddess of battle, this name seems appropriate. As the Queen of Death, the Morrigan is a farrier who brings the souls of fallen warriors to the rest of the Celtic world, not unlike the Norse Valkyrie or the Greek Charon or Charon. Um, so yeah, I think I will end there, but the umbrella of other forms and versions of the goddess of the Celtic lore all fit within her, along with the Welsh and the English too as well. So um, that's my little bit on the Morgan, and I encourage everyone to kind of look her up and see what she's all about. I do have last week I showed a card of her from the Collect Bear and Read. Um, it did quite fit what I was reading for her today. It did show the crows. Nancy did have a card though in one of her decks that represents an image that could be her as well, and because she was the queen of magic of the night and the battlefield. So there's her wearing her crow and her raven. So and we all know how powerful and magical crows and ravens are. The mysteries.
Oh, I love crows.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have ravens here.
Yeah, we don't really hear either. I miss them in Arizona up in Flagstaff. We had them, and just that beautiful guttural, talk with their throats. I miss hearing that. Um, so let me see. I see Dancing Soul Sister. This happened to me yesterday. I burned something in the sink and threw the ashes into the dumpster. After some time, it started to smoke like crazy out there. Oops. Yeah, we gotta make sure even our ashes are cold. um, but yeah. And hello, Jane. And Jane, I'm sorry I missed you, Nancy and Gerald, this morning. I didn't know you were on, and I was a little under the weather, so I'll have to make sure I drop by. And while Jane's here, I'm going to be a guest with Jane next Friday on the 20th. We're going to be doing Lenormand's in the afternoon. So excited and looking forward to that. And Empress says, I have a family of crows that made a home in her tree. Oh, wow. How beautiful.
Here's this from the Celtic Spirit Oracle of the Morrigan.
All righty. So there's another version. And a little sexy version.
Power, courage, and strength. She looks pretty fierce.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with her.
No.
There's some beautiful Maxine Miller. If nobody's familiar with Maxine Miller, she has for years created these statues for different gods and goddesses, and her statues are just phenomenal. I don't have one of them, but she has one for the Morgan that's pretty fierce. She's got a couple. And so if you love, beautiful statuary that actually kind of represents the I don't want necessarily the core, but represents her energy, without, because nowadays I noticed looking, at goddess decks today, I'm noticing that a lot of the newer ones are being created by a younger generation, and that's okay. It's just that they're more in terms of kind of like the supermodel, kind of like, just how do I put this? They're much more from a maiden perspective of, like, think the movie The Craft with the little mini skirts and the tiny little waists and the black, kind of, embracing, I don't want to say immaturity. I don't want to be disrespectful, but some of them kind of lose sight of just the ferocity of the real energy that goes behind these goddesses, like some of us in an older generation, a different
Mhm.
generation, has learned about and has experienced. So young, slim, and sexy. Yeah. So, you're going to have different generations now moving forward. But, there are decks too that, there's a beautiful deck that I saw called, I think what was it, Nancy? I sent it to you because there's so many goddesses of the world oracle decks. There's goddesses of the world oracle decks. But they're beautiful. There's like 90 cards, no, 60 cards,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are they're just beautifully done, and they're most goddesses that you've never heard of from all over the world. It's just that they left out the Morgan. They left out, one of the Marys, and but the images show the women, in different ages, in different weights, what their natural body type would have been. So when you think of the Morgan, yes, she was probably slim, but don't forget, if you want to really put that energy in there, the muscles, the strength to wield a sword, and
Yeah.
so. But we do need to lift up the next generation, definitely, Jane. I agree. I have a deck of goddesses from Ethony. It's very modern. I'm not know if I heard of Ethony, so I'll have to look that up. But yeah, for me, I'm just looking for, I don't know, a deck that might be a little bit more how I resonate or how I remember, when I first was introduced in my early 20s to the concept of the goddess and didn't realize, coming from a Catholic background, and just, oh my God, the plethora of all the different women from all over the world. I mean, it's just, and the goddess energies, and the myths and things. I mean, you grew up hearing about, the Greeks and stuff, but I never heard about, and then when I heard, oh, there's a goddess Rhiannon, I'm like, oh, you mean like this Fleetwood Mac song? So for me, it was just, oh, it was amazing to be in my 20s, back then, you know in the late 80s, early 90s, and going into college and meeting people and learning all about different things outside of my small world that I was in college. So I'm going to be quiet now for a little bit. What do you have to share with us, Nancy, today?
Um,
You got a wonderful witches box too last week.
oh yes, I did. And it had some really lovely things in it. I did a video on it. One of the things that is a ritual lotion, the Path of Plenty, and the
I
book
like
that
that.
came with it. Oh yeah, I've got it in my. Oh no, here it is. I thought I had it in my bedroom, but I brought it in this morning. This is fascinating. It is Scott Cunningham's a book, Earth, Air, Fire, and Water: More
Hmm.
of Natural Magic. Do you have it?
I used to. I remember getting the very first, I believe it was either the second print or it was either the first or second edition when I was 20 some. That was my very first book ever that my mom bought for me. We went into a metaphysical store. I was like, oh, look at all the books. And someone recommended Scott Cunningham. And that was the first one for me, was
Uh,
that book. It was a
I,
different cover, but
this
that
was
was my very first book.
this was uh, put together specifically for Witch's Moon. They do that with their books. They get permission from whoever, because I guess his estate.
Hmm.
But there are all different kinds of magic spells in here, and they're absolutely fascinating. Wishing well magic, ice magic,
Yeah. He
star
left quite the
magic,
legacy. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry. What was that?
star magic,
Star magic. Yep.
candle magic,
That's
magnet.
what I liked about Scott Cunningham. He was very ethical in practice, in thought, in deed, in way. He really lived by the read of harming none. even the materials that you use, especially in
Uh-huh.
this crystal book. If you want a pearl, just know a creature had to die for you to get that pearl. Do you know the resources even back then? So
Yeah.
just I loved his energy. It's just too bad we lost him so early.
Oh, this is interesting, Heather. Oh, okay. This is something for you. Here we go.
Oh,
To stimulate creativity. For this ritual, you'll need a flute or an instrument of some kind. Panpipes, a harmonica, penny whistle, even a trumpet are all fine, but an instrument made of wood or bamboo is best. Do you have such a thing?
I used to play flute.
Okay. If you've never used such an instrument before, get to know it prior to using it in magic. Be certain that you can make it create the desired sounds. Then do the following: light a yellow candle. I guess if push came to shove, you could hum, you know? Hold the
I have
flute
drums now.
before it while saying these or similar words: music, magic, come to me. Music, magic, let me see. Music waits the muse in me. Music, magic, come to me. Music, magic opens me to the music mystery. Mystic mind, awaken be. Music, magic, set me free. Isn't that beautiful?
Mm-hmm. And
Then
notice there's no foul
visualize
language
yourself
or
writing
anything.
that letter, composing that speech, finishing that painting, weaving that rug, or beginning to work on that book that you've been meaning to write for some time. Now play the instrument for a few seconds. You don't have to play a song, simply let the flute bring forth its energy. I have a bamboo flute that when I play it, it's horrendous. But
Jane recommended a kazoo.
yeah, that
Yes,
would
Jane.
work. Or a piece of paper and just blow in the paper, and you can kind of make that. Then there's protection chimes and what to do to stimulate your mind. This is just fun. Oh, here's the right for the earth. Oh, there's just bookbinding rituals.
Hmm.
Oh, just a treasure
I
trove.
have I have two. I still have two of his other books. I bought them again when I was living in Arizona, but I have both of his Wicca books. Even though I don't consider myself Wiccan, you still learn a lot about
Uh,
ethics and ritual
oh yeah,
um,
yeah.
and tools. And Amanda said, Nancy, I thought you were going to wear your beautiful robe you told us about the other day. Did you? I don't remember that. Did you get a robe?
What robe?
Oh, your monk robe, right?
Hold on,
Wow.
hold on, just a second.
Oh,
I think I know where it is. I think I do. Just a second. Hold that
wow.
thought.
Amanda's got quite the memory.
Yeah, I was thinking. Oh, what did she? What was she saying there? Yeah, it's like a steel trap.
And Carmela, yes, spell work is poem. It's rhyming. It's infusing it with your power, just like a prayer is. With established patriarchal religions, with rosaries or mala beads. Reciting prayers or spells. That's basically the same thing. Whenever you recite words and you have intention behind them, and you're putting them into an object or you're repeating to create a desired effect, that's magic. That's personal magic, and that's using the natural energies from within yourself and in the universe and sharing that with everybody. And while Nancy's getting her robe, I was looking at my witch Lenormand that I brought out for today, and I have a perfect card for the Morrigan. You can't get any better than this. So that is an excellent too representation of the Morrigan. It looks like she has a sword in the background near her hand, but look at the beautiful crows and ravens and even the wings. So that would be a beautiful representation, of her. And so, Jane, I'm going to bring these with me when we have our little play date next week. The woman, and I wish my hair looked like that. That's gorgeous. So yeah, these are some of the cards I brought. And Allison, there's bats in this deck too. I know you love your bats. So we have horses, we have cute little mice, but I knew there was
What was
some
I doing
crows.
in that closet, huh? What was I doing in that closet?
Oh, she must be talking to one of her puppy pups.
My chihuahuas. They were very concerned. They thought I got lost in the closet. This is the robe.
Oh.
And what you do is you put it on, and then it's very, very long. And what they do is then they wrap it around them.
Like a sari.
They keep wrapping. And I've got this that I made. I was at Walmart one time, and they they have these like shawls that they're cut like this, and you can put them around you, when it's chilly. And I had some
Like a
Asian
snuggie.
print material, and I sewed it to the front.
Ooh.
So that
wow.
when I wear it, let's see here. Whoop, I lost my glasses. It looks like this. It's got this on the sides. Wow. So I wear that more than I do the.
Nancy's a Renaissance woman. She sews, she does her art, she does her poetry, she does her cards, she has her instruments.
Oh yes. I have my thunder thing. It sounds like thunder.
Yep.
Oh, I've just got all this stuff. My rain stick. Do y'all know what a rain stick is? Every goddess should have a rain stick. Did you have one, Heather?
I used to, but like I said, when we left Arizona, I gave up a lot of stuff to make that move, and so never got it back. But the rain sticks are fun, and they're like on sticks made out of wood, and inside of it they put crystal, depending on who makes them, crystal seeds or whatever, and you turn them upside down, and it sounds like rain falling, or supposed to.
The one that I have, it's made out of a root, and what's inside it are seeds.
Wow, yours is bigger than mine. Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
That sounds a lot more like rain than mine did.
Yeah.
And hello, Ramon. Gerb is here.
We're hanging out with the rain stick, Ramon.
Yep. And Jane says she loves them. Oh. And Soul Sister says she's got a wrap like that. So yeah, a lot of talented people in our community. Lots and lots of talent. So while you were doing that, I found a card and I put it back, darn it. Oh, so in that witchy Lenormand that I brought, this would be a good representation of the Morrigan.
Oh,
check her out.
Gorgeous. That's gorgeous.
The wings and her bird right there. So yes.
And the fire.
Gypsy JJ. Yes, the fire. So the little doggy, isn't he so cute? Oh my goodness. Just adorable. Okay. Heather sometimes gets all excited about her cards.
Well, it's like the things that I have collected over a lifetime. It's not like I just got all of this at one time, And so it was funny because when I went through my husband's room, there was just so much stuff that had to be thrown away. And a lot of it I donated. But, I told my daughter-in-law, I said, I want to, go through my stuff because I don't want you all to have to do what I had to do. I mean, he was too sick to do it himself. And by that point, I was in no shape to do it when he was still alive. But anyhow, she said, oh, don't get rid of your stuff. Your stuff's neat. And I said, oh, thank you.
Yeah. I kind of wish I hadn't given things away but it's the past. I can't, I can't change it.
Yeah.
One day when we have a new place. Things
are fun, but things aren't important. Not really. when it comes down to it.
Well, I found out where I want to go. In Ashland, they have this big, beautiful metaphysical store right downtown in Ashland, and it's called, if I remember correctly, Sound Peace. And the guy did a walk by of it, and oh my goodness, the windows, the crystals, because they, of course, they don't want to talk about that like on a realty show and where they show all the restaurants and the park and everything, but it was just this big storefront and you could see the crystals and I think you could see some crystal bowls.
Mm,
And I'm just like, oh, once we get out there, oh boy, I'm going to tap back into all that and have my special little sanctuary and
mm-hmm.
my beautiful place. I just gotta keep believing, even when windows and things keep leaking in different places and stuff. I just keep holding that. Val taught me that. She goes,
Yeah.
20 days or so of just continual visualization, meditation, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. And since I've been doing that, I know I'm going off a little bit of a tangent here, but Shannon and I have been just going and we'll look something on TV and they're like, oh look, there'll be a little sign that says Oregon on there, or there'll be a picture and go, oh, this is the Oregon coast. What? And that, I mean, we're just seeing in different places, on the phone or whatever. Oregon's been popping up here and there, and I'm like, see, visualization, manifestation, it's
Mhm.
possible. So
Oh, yes.
I'm excited. And Gypsy JJ would like to know, would you be kind enough to make me a shawl like yours? She goes, I love it. Or
Oh,
me. And Ramon loved the sound of your ring stick.
oh, yeah.
That real mine sounded pretty, but mine didn't sound like that. That was gorgeous. And JJ says, I realized I was just bold, but I'm working on learning how to ask specifically for things I need.
Well, you go,
Right.
girl.
And Allison said, I appreciate that, Nancy. My mom did this my mom did this her I'm trying to wait a minute. My mom did this herself out a bit, but we wish she had done more. It's always such a kindness to do that for your children. Oh, thinning things
Yeah.
out. Mom did thin. Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jane, I love a thunderstorm. Oh, my goodness.
Sorry, Jane. Yeah, Jane says she had to leave most of all their belongings in California. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Uh,
I know I miss a lot, and I sleep best straight. Oh, we had a nice rumble yesterday. Of course, it, it made our front windows leak, but it was still nice to. It was so weird 'cause I was sitting there and I saw the clouds coming. I saw the rain. I said, "Oh, it says it's supposed to thunder today. A nice little rumble for a few minutes would be nice." And all of a sudden, like I think it was maybe not even 5 minutes later, and I'm like, Shan looks at me, he goes, "You did?" And I went, "Thank you."
Charles, come see
So
Mama. Come here. Come see
thunder, and just remember, thunder only happens when it's raining.
Wait, Charles. Come see Mama. Come here. I
Aw.
want to show Ramon. Is,
Hey,
is Ramon still in the chat? Come here. Come here, baby.
Ramon, if you're still there, we're going to share. Nancy's going to share her Chihuahua, and Allison has a Chihuahua mix.
This
Her Lulu. Oh, look at that face!
this is my truffle britches.
Truffle bridges.
And she does not like thunderstorms. If she could figure out
Oh,
how to get inside me, she would.
yeah. Our Lulu didn't like. Our
She's
Lulu didn't like it either.
she's so terrified. But this dog is an empath, and she knows when I am not 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she comes and she gets me when anything happens. She comes to tell me. She's so good. And then come here, Lily. Come on, Lily. Come see Mama. Come on, baby. Come on.
That's right. She's got two of them, just like you do, Ramon.
Let's see. Well, I've got David has the other one. Come here, Lily. Work with me here. Come on. Don't be like a limp noodle. Here we go. Here's Lily Grace.
Oh, hello, Lily. Oh my God, she
Can you
is
get your
just.
ears up? She has huge ears, but what's Mama doing, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jane says that my grand fur baby shakes when it starts raining. Lilu could hear early on before the thunder and stuff even got closed. The minute if it was cloudy out and she started to shake and go, start walking in and out of rooms, we knew that there was a storm coming. And Allison said she's adorable, Nancy.
Oh.
Yes, she is. So Ramon will have to watch playback really quick and see
Yes,
the
he missed
babies.
out on the girls. Yeah. Well, my son has Tessa Rue. She's the oldest one. She's like 16.
Oh,
And
wow.
her head is now, she was like blonde, and her head is solid white now. And
Oh,
she's pretty much deaf, and she's going blind. She has really bad cataracts. And so, bless her heart, she has a hard time, keeping up with where everybody is and
mhm.
everybody. She knows where that food bowl is.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's one sense we don't lose. Where's the smell of the food? Most definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I had to close my doors to keep those two out until they had their dinner. So
Yeah, they were hungry.
yes. Everyone Nancy got to meet Ziva. She was like, meow, meow, meow. I'm like, yeah. And even picking her up, she looked ornery, just like, put me down. I just want to be fed. Leave me alone. And Allison says Lily is stinking cute. She is.
Oh, she's precious. She really is. She is. I always heard of people talking about lap dogs, and I never really knew what it meant. Lily has got to now. I fixed them a snuggle place underneath when I sit here, and they're real comfortable and they like it under there. And whenever I head this way, they run and hop in, get in their snuggle place. But she's a lap dog, and like if I'm holding her and I get up to go in the kitchen to get a drink of water, she has to go. If David's here, she has to go over to David's lap. And then when I come back, she's looking at me because she wants to be in my lap, I mean, it's just crazy. She would, if I sat in a chair all day long, she would be right there.
That and they tend to get cold too because of their thin skin. So they're
Yeah.
like a little hot water bottle, they climb in
Yeah.
and they keep us nice and warm and they get warm. Most definitely.
Yeah.
So are you in the mood to do some divine feminine readings?
Sure.
Is anybody interested in some divine feminine readings? If you would like, go ahead and do that. I'll put the ticker on there like I always do. Just type me in big letters and I'll get you highlighting. We'll get you going. And everybody, every Monday, thank you for supporting Nancy and I. We just love doing this together and we
Yes.
enjoy having you with us and making this one of my popular shows. So I appreciate Nancy and every single one of you. And Jay says, "I
have fun, don't we?"
Yes, we do, especially backstage. We'll get backstage half hour. And Nancy will be like, Heather, do you have this deck? Nope. Nancy, do you have this deck? I might. So we go and we talk decks and talk about our life. And Jane says, I told my son I want to get a purse puppy. I've only had huge dogs. I confused my son.
Well, one of the things about Chihuahuas, if you get a little Chihuahua, when they're real little like that and they bark, they are hilarious because they're this tiny little thing and they're so fierce. And if you encourage them to bark, it's so cute. It makes you laugh. But what you're doing is you're reinforcing bad behavior because our Chihuahuas own now as far as they can see. And if a bird flies over their yard, they bark at it. I mean, they bark constantly, and it gets old. But they don't understand because
they can get vicious too.
Really cute, So that's my bit of advice.
There you go.
Don't let puppies bark and get a baby parakeet.
They sound like a squeaky toy, Jade says.
Oh, they're so cute when they're little like that. When we had a little brindle Chihuahua named Tia Tequila. And Tia, when she was real tiny and she had like a corkscrew tail. And I was working and Ricky let her out and a hawk dove down to get her. And he was out there. I tell you what, he protected that dog. And he was mad at the hawk, but they'll do it.
Yeah, they're small. I mean, they eat and they see them like, oh, there's dinner for me and my family, And when I lived in Arizona and I was at the animal shelter for a while, at the rescue, We had someone bring in a Chihuahua that had been that an owl tried to grab,
Mm-hmm.
for dinner, and they were able to save it, but it lost its eye and whatnot. But you know, you got people just got to watch out for their small dogs. No matter where you live, you have all sorts of birds of prey that would, you know. So we do have a request. Dancing Soul Sister would like a Divine Feminine reading, and so I'm using just two decks today, and I had a couple flippers. So Soul Sister, I'm going to take your name down really quick so you can see my space here. I have for you three cards that are just completely going to tell a story, and along with the two Lenormands. So let's start with the Lenormands. It has to do with your house, and when you're in your house, let that inner child play. You're wanting that sense of security, that space for play and for exploration. And I just love this little girl with her little witchy hat on. And in this one here, you get two children cards, and in here she's playing with some fire. And so for me, this is about in your home. This is where you let your inner child out. Where you allow yourself to play, to be creative. And this is something I feel like you really do need. um, I have for your when it comes to your home, I have harmony, and there's a musical instrument. So too, you may listen to your music, um, tap into your creativity. I see, of course, with dancing, being able to dance. So for me, it's harmony in your home. I got the beautiful home, the sanctuary card as well. So home is your sanctuary. This is where you feel safe and where you connect with your higher self, your inner feminine, and it's also a place that brings you peace. And to find more peace within your home, let that little inner child out. Let her play.
Aw.
Let her tap into that fiery little. I bet you this was Nancy when she was little. She was smoking when we started. So there's the long blonde hair playing with the fire. This is probably Miss Nancy when she was a little girl. But yeah, connecting with that fire energy, that creativity, and seeing where that takes you. And that's what I have for you.
All right. I have
Hey, TK.
I have three cards for you. The first one is the butterfly. This is from a goddess deck by Monty Farber and his wife. What is her name? Amy? No. Oh, well, anyway. The butterfly. Allow yourself to leave behind the past and what is no longer necessary so you can truly be the person you have worked so hard to become. Now, the next card that popped out is the card of the past. So there is something in your past that you need to let go of so you can go forward. I have no idea what it is, but I think if you reflect, you will find that there's something you're holding on to that no longer serves you, and you need to let go of this so that you can emerge as the butterfly. The final card, I love this, is believe in the impossible. And see the hummingbird there? And there are things in your life right now that at one time you thought would be impossible. And so you need to look at your hopes and your dreams and think positive, like what Heather was talking about, is when you truly want something and it's something that will be for the goodness of you, act as though you already have it, claim it, and believe in the impossible, because it's not impossible. It's possible if you believe it. That's what I got for you.
Wonderful. We're going to get to say hello to some people, but TK is in the house. She's sending out hugs, but she says, "Great news, everyone. For everyone who does not know, I got my urine test results back today and came back negative and no infection. I am relieved and thank God. So good to hear that
Oh, yes.
you're well. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that with us.
Yes.
So while you were reading, we were Miss Sylvia, Colorful Foresight has
Hey,
popped in.
Sylvia.
Hello, my dear, and let me just go ahead. And again, there's Hugger TK saying coming in saying hello to everybody. And we also have Shazad. We mentioned you earlier at the beginning. Welcome. We figured you would pop in and say hello to all of us.
Yes.
So Shazad is here, and Michelle Marie is here, and her name is Amy Zerner.
Amy Zerner. I've got so many of their decks, and I couldn't remember it.
So there we
Is that
are.
a senior moment?
Hey, I was
Let's
having
don't
senior
go
moments when I was
okay.
in my 30s, so it's an anytime moment. And so she says thank you for the readings. And so far, she's the only one that wanted a. Oh, no, Shazad. Already. Shazad, now make sure that you are keeping your eyes on the road if you are driving, because Nancy, I know that you listen to us on your way home. Okay, and Soul Sister says absolutely resonates. Thank you. You are welcome. So Shazad. And Amanda Carroll just popped in. Hello, Amanda. So we got a couple of lots of Amandas in our community. And 3 Shifting Veils. Hello, my dear. I've just been listening. Well, thank you for letting us know that you've been lurking. We appreciate that. Good to see you. I love that name, 3 Shifting Veils. Soul Sister, there are some really big issues in her past. Okay. So that must be why, your home is your sanctuary. That's your safe space for you to create, to let that inner child come out. And it looks like to heal as well with the peace card. With that picture that was of the woman holding the baby with the lamb. I've seen that image in some of the, there's a Fatima shrine not far from here. And there's a picture. So that's another interpretation of Mary holding the baby Jesus with the lamb. So allow that inner child, to heal, to flourish, to explore again, So, and TK says, my daughter's name is Amanda. When I talk to Shan about Amanda, I have to say, which one Amanda? Because I have a friend Amanda that I've been friends with since 95. And so I'm just like, nope, not that Amanda. It's a YouTube Amanda. So Shazad, I would be quiet now and focus and shuffle.
Okay, I have 3 cards if you want me to go first, Heather, or
Go ahead.
okay. Shazad, I pulled a chakra card for you, and this is what it says. It is the Earth Star chakra, and this is very. I think this is for you, but also it's for me too. It's soul memory. Find the balance and beauty in being present while drinking from the wisdom of the past. There is gold to be mined from what no longer is, and precious nuggets to be tilled from what is hidden. Sojourn in the deep, travel for a while back in time to receive the lessons still active for you. The greatest gift awaits you when you give yourself permission to go back and within to retrieve them. You cannot live in your memory, but it is good and advised to visit. And I love that because there are things that we need to release, but there are also things that we need to cherish and to honor and to remember. The second card that I got for you is the card of calm, being calm. And I love this because here's the back of the card. Isn't this pretty?
Mm-hmm.
I love this because there are leaves behind her. She has lotuses in her hands, and then there are fall leaves in front of her. And it shows that to me that in all seasons she has a sense of calm. It looks to me like she's meditating. She's quieted her monkey mind. And I think that goes with retrieving the soul memory. The final card is the card, and I love this. I want to read what this says. This is the card of Sage Goddess. You know, I was burning sage earlier. The key words are purification and cleansing. The ancient global practice of burning sage is not only for purifying a space or a person, but also to heighten spiritual clarity. The botanical name for sage, salvia, stems from the Latin word salvare, to heal, which is also the origin of the word salvation. Other qualities of sage when burned, such as giving wisdom, clarity, and increasing spiritual awareness, are also indicated in the name. It's no accident that we refer to wise people as sages. The sage goddess calls you to cleanse your sacred spaces, to remove both physical and psychic toxins from your atmosphere in order to more clearly envision the transcendental experiences of life. She offers the opportunity to clear out the clutter of the mind and heart, cut through the chatter of thought, and find peace, order, and focus. So I think all of these cards go together for you.
Shazad says, Nancy, absolutely correct.
Well, good. Thank you.
And Beth, it's interesting because one of the first words you said in the card is about balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say grace as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Because looky, balance.
Oh, yes.
And grace.
Grace.
And I'll get to your cards in a second, but I want to share that because I got something very similar, Shazad. And Amanda says, my magical friend Dante just left. Great visit. Anything about our connection? So Amanda, I put it in chat, but Nancy and I just do like general divine feminine messages on Mondays. But if you like, we can still pull cards from you, and you can see if that the card readings resonate with you, with
on the energy,
with your question, with the energy. So, and Jeff is here, and I'm sorry you work sucked today, but not as badly. So Monday wasn't a bad day, so it got better. Good to hear that, Jeff. Thanks for popping in. And let's see, Fatima is here. Hello, Fatima. And Shazad said also working on awakening spiritual cleansing on a daily basis. Nice. And Jeff, blessings, Fatima, in these apocalyptic times. Jeff, relax, kick back. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it divine light. Oh, Dante is gay. That's awesome. It's always fun to have a gay friend. It really is. I miss going to those karaoke bars with my friend Garrett back in the day, and with Kyle. Can go to one of them clubs and not even have to worry about getting hit on. I had drinks bought for me. Oh, it's great to have. Yeah, it's great to have a gay friend. Love it. So Shazad, for you, I got Grace. Grace. So I think so for me, sometimes the word grace is that spiritualness. It's like not necessarily like the voice of God, but it's that inner grace that we all have that we can feel from spirit. And I love the word grace. I think of it a little differently now from this perspective after watching one of Cash Peters' videos, what he does when people move on. He does these drawings, and he says the one word he could think of is that it's not like God or judgment, but it's this beautiful sense of grace that's there waiting for us when we go to the other side. And so that grace is what is kind of like the force, but just more beautifully, more poetically put as grace. But we have that all that inner grace of ourselves, that divine feminine inner grace. and it's asking you to start listening more, paying attention more. Maybe when you go outside, she's got a beautiful bird wing wrapped around her arm. She's got birds singing around here, like trying to get her attention. So maybe start listening to nature more, to what your spirit is saying to you, what your higher self is saying to you, and also maybe the misses. This could very well be misses as well, but and this could be very well acknowledging that you do listen, but it just feels like there might be a little bit more listening, or it just could be very well acknowledging that you are listening more. And by doing that, like Nancy said, it brings you into balance. You're in balance with your feminine self. You are balanced beautifully with your wife's energy, and you're also balanced, within nature and our connection to the earth. And I did pull two Lenormand cards, and these were interesting. So I was saying maybe listen to your wife. I did get the woman card, and she's fantastic. I love this woman's hair; it's beautiful. Um, and so we have the woman card. So, and the bottom card that I wanted to go with this is the mice. And the mice here, they're so very cute and everything, but we also kind of got to remember in the Lenormand, mice are kind of mischievous. They get into your food, they get, they they make a mess, they kind of destroy stuff. So, what I'm feeling a little bit more now, looking at these cards off to my side and then looking at these, is that not a lot of men are connected to their divine feminine and have the same respect for their partner in their life. Um, and with me, the mice might feel like people that might say to you, or may kind of possibly have put you down in the past, or even maybe, in the current future or the present moment, about connecting with your divine feminine, being in touch with your feminine side, especially with the divine feminine. And so, if you hear any negative talk, either through people directly to you, or you see in the media or in certain circles, don't let that kind of talk, create any mischievousness or any. Um, don't let it get to you. Don't let it kind of, you know, run amok in your head and um, destroy this beautiful symbiotic. I don't say symbiotic, but that beautiful, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not that beautiful energy between two people. I don't want to go up this on too much of a tangent, but that's, the woman, you embrace her, you acknowledge the divine feminine, and just a reminder not to let the words of society, get in there and start picking away at what you hold to be your spiritual truth. And that's what I have for you.
Mhm. Beautiful message.
Yeah, didn't she have awesome hair? Oh, wow. Wouldn't it be just nice to be able to wake up every morning and just
Oh,
look like
yeah.
that?
Yeah, this is great.
Oh, let's see. Michelle, I apologize if we're quiet. We're troubleshooting some new tech equipment while you're all keeping us sane on our television. Oh, yeah. We have a TV. It's called a smart TV. It irritates the hell out of Shan. He goes, "It's not a smart TV. It's a dumb TV. It's a stupid TV." So we're laughing along with you, my dear. I totally get it. And let me just make sure I didn't miss any other questions for readings. Aw, much appreciated. You're welcome, Shazad. Listening to my MRS now 33. Yes, God is great. I don't know what MRS. Oh, Mrs. Okay, listen to your Mrs. Gotcha. All righty. So Amanda Carroll would like some cards, and we can see what that energy. Let's see what the divine feminine. We'll just put
Now,
that out there, and it may. And
now
that's
what was
Amanda.
her question?
Well, she has a new friend,
Okay.
and she just wants to, and she says he's gay. His name is Dante, but again, I don't go into anybody's energy without their permission. So I'm just going to pull cards for you, Amanda, and see if it's maybe, and you can tell yourself if that is a message for your question, or if this might be just a message that the divine feminine thinks might be more important at this time. So we'll let you decide that. And you're welcome, Shazad. He says, thanks a bunch, ladies. You're welcome.
Let me see here. Okay. Amanda Carroll, I have 4 cards for you. The first one, this is from the goddess deck I was telling you about, Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. And the card that I drew for you on this is the Mermaid. It says, look below the surface of your emotional reactions to know what is really going on, for things are not always what they seem. The next card I got for you is overthinking can spoil the magic. And I love this, because I think we all tend to do that sometimes. And in order for us to have magic, first of all, we need to find wonder. And when we find something that truly fills us with wonder, that's where the magic begins. And this is like the beginning of a journey, looking at what you want and what is happening to you spiritually and things that are happening in your life, and be filled with the wonder of it. And then that's when the magic happens. I got this card for you. It says, raise your vibration. And I think that your guides and angels are waiting for you to make a step. That's what's coming through to me. And there's this card that I pulled is really interesting. It says, it's the card that says doable. It says the key is within your grasp. Okay. Is there something that you really, really want? Because in the book for this card, this is the Magic of You Oracle. And this is what it says. And I love this because it's talking about what you seek is within your grasp, and that there are all kinds of yes around you, but you're not focusing on it. It's right there. And they have a ritual that you can do. And I think this would be a good ritual for all of us, that we desperately want something. And this is something concrete that we can do to get it. The ritual is the open door. Choose a closed doorway that opens away from you in your home. Lick the index finger of your writing hand and name your door with a word representing your goal traced in spit. Okay? Everybody's still with me here?
I'm like, spit? Did she say spit?
Using incense or a smudge stick, here's where the fire comes in. Fan the smoke around the edges of the door while meditating on what you want. Now, you've already written what you want in spit, remember? When you're ready, open the door and step through. Know that what you desire is now possible and happening. You have broken through the glass ceiling. You have navigated your obstacles, and you are free to grow and evolve into the next best expression of you. I love that. I have a door that opens away from me, and I just might do this because to me that sounds really powerful. And that's what I have for you, sweetie.
All righty. And Amanda says, true. Yep. I am holding a key looking for the door I want sustainable work and joyful service.
Ah, all right.
And listening and cool beans. I'm just getting a clarifier for one of these Normans. So this is interesting. I think this might be coming around with what. So Amanda, your friend. I don't know. This has to do with maybe a work, something to do with maybe a job proposal or something. Um, so in my vintage, I have you in the middle. So I'm looking at you as this. I have the love card. So there is a love. I know it's platonic, but it's a beautiful mutual. There's a love there. However, on one side, I have discernment, like, you know, making sure that you've used discernment in the past when it comes to, and I'm feeling this is in response to your question, and this possibly could be ties with what Nancy is saying about, and then you're commenting on sustainable work. So I'm not sure if this is him. You're thinking about maybe doing some sort of business or going into some business relationship with him. I think I was his mom in another life. Interesting.
Mm.
So discernment, and it's making sure, watching what is said, kind of closing your eyes, not wanting to see things that you may not want to see, closing your ears, not hearing, oh, I don't want to hear this. So some sort of discernment has been in place. And what's important right now is that you get grounded and centered. I have the centering card. And what's interesting is that this is inside of a mirror. So, kind of taking the time to reflect, looking at your question or looking at these cards through the reflection of a mirror, and you're in the mirror. So, talking to yourself, getting centered, getting grounded, really truly reflecting, using discernment with whatever this is that we are, we're reading on. Tangibly, possibly with, okay. So, I did get the clouds card, followed by the bouquet, which is a very positive card. And then I got the man at the end. But with the cloud card is usually when you look at the cloud cards, you look to see where the sun's coming through and where you see the storm. And right now, I have on the card, you or this possibility is on the stormy side. So I don't know if this represents that there might be some confusion. Things might not be clear right now because, we do have the man here. It looks like we're working on something. There's only one male card in this whole deck, and this is the male card right here. So I asked for a clarifier. Yeah, mirror like a door, a portal. So about the clouds, I asked, can I just have a clarifier about what the clouds are about? And I got the ring. And the ring is about commitment. So this is relationship commitments, business commitments, any type of commitment that goes down into writing, or if it's a verbal, whatever type it is, there's some sort of commitment and there's some confusion. Not quite sure. Is this positive? Is this stormy? What's what? So there's a little bit of confusion there. So take some time, get centered, and discern. Pay attention to what you hear, what people say, or what it is when they speak, what something, because people speak, and sometimes what you hear isn't necessarily what you are seeing in their actions. So take time to just really sit, be with yourself, get grounded. I know this person that you love and trust, but just before you make any commitment issues, make sure that there's no clouds covering your eyes and there are things that aren't hidden, whether by print or. I learned this the hard way with someone who I was best friends with for 25 years. And hey, we don't need to sign I don't need to sign a contract with her. We're best of friends. She wouldn't do anything. Well, that's a story for another day. at least to say, I have not spoken with her since 2009. So make sure that even if this is a friend, if you do any sort of commitment, make sure that it is in writing, but be grounded and make sure that you know every angle, every detail. Make sure that there is nothing in between lines. Everything is out in the open and everything is in writing. And that's what I have for you, my dear. She says, love this. Thank you. Mirror like the door. Yes. Ah, thank you, Michelle. I'm working for a guy, Greg. A mad landscaper with a million ideas, overwhelming. But yeah, so just make sure, yeah, it's contract time. There's still some clouds. There's something you are not certain of. Girl, listen to your gut. Make sure everything, as exciting as it is, make sure you know exactly what you are signing up for. Okay? All righty. Let me put that aside. Did we get any other requests for readings? No, we have not. So it is 6:12. We still have a few minutes if anybody would like a reading, or Nancy and I can do a collective.
We can do a collective if you want. Has everybody good with that? How many cards, Heather?
Whatever, how many you feel drawn to pull.
Okay.
I'm uncertain. Yes, thanks so much, both of you. I will. Okay. Yes. Listen closely. Nancy gave you the key.
Yeah.
She showed you the door. And just make sure.
You know, I think when we do rituals like that, where we are physically doing something, I think, especially when like smoke or incense is involved, because that, I don't know, that evokes spirit to me if you're in the right headspace. To me, it's really powerful. Okay.
Well, that card showed up again.
I have 3 cards. The first one, this is a collective, right? Is for us to all find our center. Stay true to you, call it to you. And look at this. This is such a beautiful card.
Oh, is that from the stone?
Yes.
Oh.
But I mean, there's a labyrinth there, and there's the nature, and there are ancient stones. You can see they're piled on top of one another, like somebody has made like a shrine. But look at the light that's in the center of the labyrinth, and the light that is where her heart is, and also her third eye. And I love that. It's find your center. And we all need to do that. And here's that word again, grace. And there's a certain grace. There's a grace in the divine feminine. There's a grace that is just swirling around us if we open ourselves to it. And I love this. I went to the Sacred Hags Oracle and got this card.
I love that, the Sacred Hags.
And it is the dance of the rebel heathens.
Woo!
Look at them. They're having some fun.
Or rebel Heathers. Just one letter difference.
Yeah. And this is what grandmother says. Grandmother speaks. Ah, my love, let's not take ourselves so seriously. Our magic surely suffers when the ropes of our discipline become too tightly wound after all. Just for today, let us be true priestesses of the wild and celebrate the spinning pleasure planet on which we live. Let us drum, let us dance, let us remember why we chose to be born to this fleeing flesh. And it has, I tell you what this book does is it has a morning ritual and it has a moonlight ritual. And this is the morning ritual, the spell of desire. What a brilliant blessing, this amber dawn. Breathe deeply and face the south, the direction of heat and joy. Close your eyes and ask yourself what you desire most. What fleeting medicine would nourish your aching heart? Sense the embodied feeling. What color, shape, and temperature is your desire? Desire is much sharper than longing, and it runs hotter and feels more urgent than our lesser wants. Now, as you hold the tensions of this feeling, can you recall a time in your life when what you desired most was something that you have now? Something you, in this moment, do hold in your hands or heart? Dance between these psychic points now, holding the feeling of desire all the while. Memory of desire, present moment, yet to come vision of your current desires fulfilled, present moment, memory of desire, and so on. Stay with this and keep breathing. Your body may want to move in response to the sensation of it. Let it, if so. Become desire embodied in soft skin until you feel a shift of consciousness. When your memories and visions of the yet to come begin to feel similarly rechargeable, similarly familiar in vibration and realness, slow the psychic dance and begin to ground yourself. Feel your heartbeat, breathe, and come home to only the present moment. Here you are, and so it is. All blessings be.
Blessed be.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Before I share my cards, Fatima shared something very sad, and our hearts go out to you, Fatima. Yesterday, an Anglican church burned down close to my home. It had beautiful art. People were crying, so sad. And she says everything was gone in just a few hours. So,
Oh my.
we just hope that nobody was hurt. You know, that's sad, but you
Yeah.
you can replace art, but you can't replace lives. Um, and so I know this was supposed to be a collective, but I have a question for somebody in chat, and this may even be Nancy. I don't know. I'm getting cards in regards to somebody who just recently lost somebody. Now, you know me, Nancy. I usually don't,
Mhm.
this doesn't happen, except for that one time with Earl, with his aunt. I'm going to ask anybody in chat if anybody has recently um, lost somebody or they know that they're about to lose somebody because I'm getting cards from transition ancestors and everything. So I'm just gonna go and share what I have.
Okay.
So I'll start with my Lenormands. I have tree, which represents health, and for me this also represents family tree, ancestors, which I had also gotten with my ancestors card here. Next one I have is coffin, and typically coffins are about just is the death card, but it's about rebirth into something new. Doesn't necessarily mean a physical death. However, um, from what I'm looking here, this does have to do with I believe a physical death. And then I have a letter. So somebody received a letter recently, or someone's in the process of writing a letter. It could be to somebody that they've lost that they're trying to communicate with. But there is some form of communication coming through. In regards to this, um, I have this person now has a sense of freedom. They're free. There's no longer, I don't know if this does resonate with somebody in chat, that this person is free now. There is no pain. There is nothing but celebration. Again, there's the beautiful butterflies about transformation, changing into a new phase and going to something new, and it's celebrating and beautifully. And I got the love card again. So this person sending love, and the lights coming down. You have the beautiful bird of peace. And so again, there's the love card. You had grace, which also feels very much like when um, Mr. Peterson was doing his transition drawings. He referred to that energy as we pass, bringing us towards the light as that beautiful grace. The next card I have is intuition. Now I think I'm not going to be looking at the chat so I don't lose my train of thought here. So intuition, I feel like this person on the other side has been reaching out to this individual. There's that intuitive knowing. It's just like Tuit. She's got the little bird or dove on the shoulder, and there's the bridge to me, like a crossing over. So it's connecting to listen to your intuition, and I just kind of love um, this little tiara or crown that she's wearing. It's connecting with the sun and the moon, the earth, as above, so below, and almost kind of like little antennas. It's cute. I love it. So it's that connection where you feel like you are receiving messages. And what made me actually think it was an actual transition, I did get the transition card. And she's sad. She's looking at, she's got the wings on again for like the butterflies and the moths about, transforming into something new and beautiful. This might have happened during the cold months, a winter month, um, or going into spring, but there is that transition. Ancestors. I got the ancestors card, so I don't know if this is somebody who is an ancestor that had passed that is reaching out, but I did get the ancestors card, and this card says patience, but there's a young child that's crying. Well, to me, it's the process of crying. Like, when we're little, we can't get what we want, and we kind of cry, and maybe that's why they put patience on it. But this child has wings, so I don't know if this was a child that had passed, or if this is somebody who's that their inner child is still suffering, and they're like, why am I not healing? Why am I? Because we go through grief differently. Than we all process grief differently, and so I have that message of patience. So that's what I have, and I'm going to go look at chat now. Um, okay, I see Beth saying something. Okay, today is the 1 year anniversary. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm getting chills all over. Um, he told me he felt free now, and he showed me a golden light. Oh, Beth, honey, I'm so sorry for your loss. I used just one deck to communicate with me, and as his little joke, I always draw the high priestess. That's him having a little laugh. Well, that intuition card, that's very high priestess right there. Where did she go? I mean, it's intuition. It's the divine feminine. To me, that's a very a high priestess card. Um, he has two daughters, like in that ancestors. Oh my, are you kidding me? For why I was getting emotional while doing the reading. They're two, parents, but that can well, child there, and then the other one crying. I see where you're going with that one. Okay. The divine golden light. Okay, high priestess for sure. So he wants me to continue to reach out to them and be patient. Oh wow. Well, thank you for letting me know, Beth.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that these were cards for somebody in chat. And Michelle is also. Have you looked at his prashna time of physical release chart yet, Beth? I find that it can bring us closer to those who have crossed over. Oh wow.
Uh,
So it's been a year today. Wow. So it is recent.
goodness. The timing
I,
of that,
mm,
you
yeah,
know?
and our mourning, our grief. I lost my cousin back in '88, and there are still times when that grief, that pain, that sadness just. I mean, it's just we all grieve and process differently.
Yeah.
Um, my mom will be 20 years July 1st, but I can't grieve really for her. I do a little bit, but because we had such a difficult relationship, so our process of grieving and letting go, even if it's not a physical death, relationships as well. So perhaps that might help some more people too. If you think of it as a collective, this could be relationships as well. People that are no longer in our lives that have hurt us, that left our lives, or we had to walk away from them as well. But thanks for letting me know, Beth. I had a strong feeling that was for somebody. He moved to Denver.
Mm.
What a cool name too. Theo was the name of Vincent van Gogh's brother, who took care of him and supported him with his art supplies and paints and stuff. When Vincent couldn't hold a job down, his
Mm.
brother was the one that would help him take care of him. I've always loved that name, Theo.
Mm.
Well, on that note, anything? Well, if anyone didn't catch it this morning, Nancy did a show with Gerald and Jane. So if anyone wants to replay and watch that, that was from this morning.
Yeah.
And Miss Nancy, do you have anything else coming up with somebody this
This
week?
coming Sunday at 7 o'clock in the evening Eastern time, I'll be reading with Scott and Jackie again. And that's all I've got going on. And then the following Monday, I'm going to have my second eye done, my cataract surgery. And on the 20th, Ginger Faye is coming to spend a few nights with me, and we're going to do a live and have a pajama party. So I hope you all will come.
Wish I could. That would be so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can come. You can do it virtually. How's that?
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
Yeah.
And Nancy, I was shuffling my cards just one more time to say goodbye because I know it was a little heavy. I love giving a nice name, a message that needs to be given. But guess what card came out again? So
With
everybody, we're going to end with
Grace?
love.
Oh,
Love.
love. Oh, that's beautiful. And Jonathan just popped in. Aloha, Jonathan.
Aloha, Jonathan. It's my husband's birthday today. Well, happy
Ooh.
birthday, hubby. And so we're going on another adventure soon. Oh, that sounds wonderful. So, I mentioned Jonathan earlier. Oh, Jonathan. Nancy was sharing her chihuahuas. You're so cute. You have to watch back in the beginning. Her chihuahua said hello. So, we're kind of celebrating two birthdays today because even though Theo passed, it was a birthday into a new life. Leaving the earthly, going into a new life, and then
Yes.
today we celebrate Jonathan's husband's birthday coming into the world, and it's all full of love. So, Jonathan, just in time. This is the third time this card has come up. So, much love to you and to hubby. Sunset at, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, Halikikala? Halikakala?
Ooh.
Summit sounds beautiful.
Oh, yes.
So I don't have anything planned else this week. I might do a pop up here and there depending on how I feel. Friday, Allison and I will be back. And till then, everybody have a beautiful rest of your week. And Nancy and I will see you on our next show next Monday.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
again. Bye, everybody.